International Championship Wrestling, featuring the superstars of professional wrestling. Phil Mascaras, Ivan Koloff, the Mongols, Ernie Ladd, Tex McKenzie, Dick the Bulldog Brower, the Mighty Igor, the Love Brothers, Cowboy Bob Ellis, Eric the Red, Gino Brito, and Dino Bravo, Rip Hawk, Luscious Larry Heineme, Argentina Apollo, and Luis Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you again to another edition of the best in professional wrestling, I.W.A, International Championship Wrestling. We've got so many stars on the program today, fans. We've got the Mongols, the former World Tag Team Champions of the I.W.A. As of right now, the Mongols and Rivera and Bravo still have claim to the World Tag Team Championship. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the program. You're going to be seeing in our main event tonight, Johnny Powers teaming up with Nelson World to listen to this, who they're going to be going against. Big Eric the Red and Dick the Bulldog Brower. Plus, you'll be seeing my partner, THESZ. He'll be in action tonight, the former six-time world champion. So all in all, we've got the best in professional wrestling on your station. Best in professional wrestling, I.W.A. International Championship Wrestling. We'll be back in one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, these matches are sanctioned by the International Wrestling Association. Robert F. Hatch, president. Our opening bout will be a one-fall, 20-minute time limit. Hailing from Detroit, weighing in tonight at 294 pounds, Big Jim Lancaster. His opponent from Monterrey, Mexico, 236 pounds, Arriba, Luis Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, Luis Martinez is without question one of the finest wrestlers, one of the finest physical specimens wrestling has ever produced in this world. He trains consistently, he does road work, he does lightweight lifting, a lot of body exercises, a lot of wrestling. I have trained with Luis. This is THESZ, and I have trained with him, and he's a fantastic competitor, a wonderful athlete.
You know, when you've got a man sitting here, folks out there, when you've got a man sitting here like THESZ, this former six-time world champion, I'll tell you, you can get the best wrestling advice from the best, Lou, and I got to say, you were the best.
Well, you're very complimentary. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. And I was telling the folks about Luis Martinez and how high I am on him and his great training methods and how he hangs in there. And I am saying, I'm just like he is. I train constantly, and we really enjoy what we're doing, Ron.
You know, that's great when you can do something that your heart's into, Lou, and I know that throughout your years in the wrestling business, your heart's been in it 1,000%. You've tried to rid the wrestling business of some of the undesirables. And let's face it, there are a lot of men today that look at you on TV or listen to your voice and say, well, that man put me out of the business.
Well, you know, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Lou.
Well, you know, it's a strange thing, but you pointed something out. I wrestle as an amateur, and when I discovered they would pay me for the thing I really love to do, what a beautiful way to go through life.
It's very, very true. And as I was saying, you know, THESZ, you are a wrestling legend, and I am just so happy because I grew up around wrestling, and I'm so happy to be sitting here next to you and doing what I consider to be the best in professional wrestling, I.W.A.
Well, I know that, and the matchmaking is fantastic, and that's why I am here, Ron, and I'm happy to be a part of this organization. And I think you're becoming the dean of the sportscasters, and that's very, very good because you've got a lot of competition throughout the country. You're doing a first-class job here, and I want to compliment you on it.
I thank you very much, Lou. Getting back up to the action in the ring, Luis Martinez is on the receiving end right now of a hammerlock by Big Jim Lancaster. And Luis Martinez is vastly outweighed, I believe. Lou, I think it's about 60 pounds.
Yes, he is. He's outweighed by quite a lot, but conditioning and agility and know-how will make up for it, I believe.
You said it right there, Lou. There's a beautiful maneuver by Luis Martinez into that standing leg lock right now.
He's been there. He's taken this trip before.
Lancaster trying to get some help from referee Tommy Young, and I'll tell you, if Tommy Young was in a bad mood, he could fine Lancaster $500 for putting his hands on a referee.
It certainly should not be permitted. That is true.
Coming to you again, fans, from one of the leading sports arenas in the country. with the very best in professional wrestling, I.W.A. International Championship Wrestling. Luis Martinez with that gripping toe hold on him right now. Luis Martinez right now being choked by Jim Lancaster. And I'll tell you, Big Jim, when he puts the weight on you, it's hard to move. And I'll tell you right now, he's got Louis choking him, Lou. And throughout your years in the wrestling business, you come across a lot of guys that like to do that choke.
It's a difficult thing to get away from a choke when you're under the rope like that. When you're away from the rope, it's a possibility to do a sit-out and come through. But when next to the rope, it's very difficult.
There's Luis Martinez right now on the receiving end from Big Jim Lancaster. Martinez using all of his wrestling knowledge to try to come back after this one. Louis again. Lancaster setting him up. Louis is trapped, Lou, in a very bad position right now.
Yes, he is.
He's in between the second and top rope. And Lancaster is making a very good showing for himself.
Well, he's got the inside track. He's really running with it now.
Luis Martinez, the fiery Latin from Monterey. There he goes. There he goes, fans. Louis gets charged up when he runs around this ring. And Louis ready now. Here he comes. Louis coming after Big Lancaster now. A good smash to the head. Arm whip into the corner ropes. Let's see. It's a big judo chop by Luis Martinez.
Beautiful. He just collected himself and came in. He's doing his job now.
Luis Martinez grabbing Big Jim Lancaster up in a crushing back body drop. Louis going for the famed hold, his finisher, the Mexican octopus. And right now he's crushing that vertebrae together. And referee Tommy Young calls for the bell. It's too much for Jim Lancaster as Luis Martinez registers yet another I.W.A. victory. The winner of the fall in the match with the Mexican octopus, Luis Martinez, will be back with more of the best in professional wrestling in just one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout will be one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first of all tonight, hailing from Columbia, South Carolina, weighing in tonight at 211 pounds. Let's hear it for Tony Griffith. His opponent, weighing in tonight at 265 pounds from Aspen, Colorado.
Find Igor for me. Find Igor.
Luscious Larry Heineme.
Well, this is the same Heineme that abused Igor the way he has by burning him with a candle after Igor was defeating him in an arm wrestling match. He has another young man in here. I hope the young man doesn't get injured. He looks like a fine young athlete. Larry is a great wrestler, this Heineme. I wish he would stick to wrestling, Ron. I think he can do it if he would.
You know, Lou, at this moment in time, I would have to say that one of the most hated men in the wrestling business right now is the man that you're watching, Luscious Larry Heineme.
Well, he's the talk of the dressing room, and it isn't flattering, I'll tell you.
That's for sure, and I'll tell you, the mighty Igor is trying to recover all of his eyesight back. You know, Igor would like nothing better to get a hold of this Larry Heineme, but he doesn't, and I don't blame Ivan Kalmakoff for coaching him so. He doesn't want Igor in that ring with Heineme until he's at 100% capacity.
I think that would be good judgment, but I wouldn't want to be in Heineme's shoes when Igor does get his hands off him. That would be quite a thing, because with the power the man has, he could very well injure him permanently.
Griffith right now being ridden by Luscious Larry Heineme.
He likes to get a punishing hold like that and just milk them down, make them just exhaust them completely.
Referee for, pardon me, Lou.
Go ahead.
The referee tonight is Tommy Young, the #1 rated wrestling referee in the country right now. Look at Heineme, Lou. Just look at him. The man's
vicious man. Yeah.
The only word for him.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
He doesn't have any regard for anyone.
Larry Heineme, one of the toughest, one of the meanest, one of the most vicious men in wrestling.
The thing that amazes me about him, he seems to be willing to trade punches or anything just to get a lick in.
That's right. There he goes for that. What would you call that, Lou?
Well, that was a Beal. This young man, well...
I know that. That's a body slam.
He throws him around like a doll, doesn't he? Very powerful fellow.
Uh-oh, he's going to grab him up from that hangman. That hangman, look at that. Look at that. Unbelievable, the strength of this Heineme.
Takes a lot of power. Takes a lot of power. Get up and he kicks him back down.
That's right. Tactics. You hear the voice right now of Luscious Larry Heineme. We here at International Wrestling can think of only one word for Larry, and that's brutal, vicious.
He becomes more animal-like each time I see him.
Larry Heineme, formerly of St. Cloud, Minnesota, now living in Aspen, Colorado. And I'll tell you fans one thing right now. This man right here is now number 2 in line. It's Bulldog Beower, and then Larry Heineme, and after that comes Mil Mascaras, the champion, the I.W.A. world champion. It's the 3 count. Heineme ruling.
The devastating elbow he dishes out.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The winner with the flying elbow smash and body press, Luscious Larry Heineme. We'll be back with the best in professional wrestling, I.W.A., in just one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout will be one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Hailing tonight from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 231 pounds, Mike Dugan. His opponent, hailing from Chattanooga, Tennessee, weighing in at 231 pounds, Pistol Pez Whatley.
Pez Whatley. He's a little wrestling machine from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And as I said, he isn't very tall, but he is really all there. He's a true heavyweight, and he was amateur heavyweight champion of Tennessee for 2 running years, and is doing equally, if not better, in the professional ranks than he did as an amateur. I think he has a very brilliant future.
You know, I've got to say one thing right now. You know, Lou, the last time that Bulldog Beower was on the program along with Pez Whatley, they were both on the same show. You had stepped out for a minute to find out the condition of a wrestler, I believe, and Beower took your spot. Now, I got to say, that's a great compliment for Pistol Pez, because actually what Bulldog was doing was some talent scouting. He wanted to see what the opposition up and coming looked like, and he got quite a nightful from this youngster from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Well, he has all the rudimentary experience, and aside from that, he has a lot of intestinal fortitude. He has all the physical end of it going. Physiologically, he's great. He's got it all put together. Good mind. He picks it up like a sponge. I've worked out with him a couple of times, and this young man really knows how to wrestle. If he sees a hold once, he has it.
Mike Dugan from Miami, Florida. I was talking to Mike a little bit earlier. He says he's been living in the Sunshine State for about 2 years.
It appears that Pez Whatley may send him back if he's not careful.
That's right. Mike Dugan now and Pistol Pez. Mike with a side headlock on Pez Whatley. Pistol Pez. Uh-oh. Now, Lou, you can, from your experience in wrestling, you know that when a man's back is turned, and the guy doesn't, it's got to be something more than a headlock.
That's right. Well, he's probably got to resort to this, because I don't think this fellow Dugan or Dugan is what his name is in Whatley's class. He just doesn't have the wrestling know-how.
Sometimes certain wrestlers make up for the fact that they're not as experienced, not as strong, not as fast with the dirty tactics. I don't think there's any use for it in the sport.
It isn't good, really, but they compensate and they try to win.
That's the name of the game, isn't it?
He's pounding him pretty well now. He got Pez angry.
Pistol Pez is arm whipping Mike Dugan back into the
Fantastic.
corner turnbuckle, and I'll tell you, he took a funny run into there. I think Dugan might be hurt. Usually when a wrestler is being launched into the corner turnbuckle, he'll try to hit with the back, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, with the back and the rump, like sort of like in the same area to cushion the blow.
Right.
But Dugan went in a very strange way, and he might have hurt his tailbone.
It's very easily happened. You know, one of our really bad calculated risks is bad backs and bad knees. The backs go very easily, you know. And sacrum area is very difficult to handle. Gets out of line while you're in trouble.
Right now, Mike Dugan trying the best he can possibly go against Pistol Pez Watley. And Pistol Pez grimacing under that arm bar. I think it was biting there, Lou.
Yes, that really doesn't relate it to wrestling. And that...
He got caught, though. Referee Tommy Young caught him. I'll tell you, that Tom is a fantastic referee.
Yes, he is. He's really sharp. He's on it.
Pez with a big drop kick. Boy, he leveled him. He absolutely leveled him with that one.
He gets up there like a feather, this fellow.
The headbutt of Pistol Pez. Dugan is looking for a way out. Pistol Pez winding up, asking his many fans in attendance here, and leveling Mike Dugan. Pistol Pez going for the count. Count goes in. 1, it's 2. Dugan throws him off at the last second.
Thought he had him. Dugan's a little bit concealed, you know, he deceives one a little bit. I didn't know he was that strong. Pretty aggressive fellow. He really he stays in there and keeps trying. But the competition, the competitive thing that we develop in wrestling is the thing that really perpetuates the sport.
Pez Watley winding up now. Catching Dugan good across the chest. Watley again coming back, this time with a rabbit punch. Here he comes. Arm whip, call it, Lou.
It was an arm whip, all right. He goofed a little bit. I thought he was going to try to leg trip him, but he didn't do it.
There he goes.
Oh, I think he's looking for stretch. He's looking for stretch. He's got it. He's got it.
Twice in a row he tried to get it to him.
He got it now. Well, probably come up with a wing lock.
I'll tell you, this Mike Dugan, pretty soon, this guy's going to be a good one. He showed himself quite a bit.
Yeah.
You can tell right now, Lou, that Pistol Pez has got the endurance all over him. He's knocked out. He's tired. And he's a beat man right now.
Wore him out.
Pistol Pez wore him out. Rope-a-dope, and Pez did it. Well, the winner of the fall of the match with the flying dropkick and body press, Pistol Pez Watley. We'll be back with more of the best in professional wrestling after this timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, our next match will be one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing, first of all, tonight, hailing from Columbia, South Carolina, weighing in at 207 pounds, Eddie Dean. His tag team partner, weighing in tonight at 285 pounds, Doug Hawkins. Their opponents, ladies and gentlemen, with a combined weight of 567 pounds, the former I.W.A. World's Tag Team Champions, Bolo and Guido, the Mongols.
Well, the Mongols are complaining bitterly about losing the title. But Rivera was a little bit too smart. He was too good of an athlete. He bridged out and managed to pin one of the Mongols. And that was because he's such a fantastic athlete. And Rivera did such a great job in bridging out and making the pin with this fellow.
You know, the I.W.A. Lou ruled on that the Mongols were defeated for the tag team championship. However, the victors were not Rivera and Bravo. The true victors of that, I should say, were the I.W.A. Commission itself, because they have seen fit to hold up the title. When Rivera pinned Guido Mongol, they said that not only was Guido Mongol pinned, but Victor Rivera, in essence, pinned himself.
Oh, they must have done a replay on that.
Yes, there was an instant replay. They took the instant replay of the match. There was a ruling by the I.W.A. commissioners. Right now, there are no I.W.A. World Tag Team Champions. The Mongols are not champions, and neither are the team of Victor Rivera and Dino Bravo.
Well, that will make for some great competition.
That certainly will. I'll tell you, when Bravo and Rivera finally get a title match, because, like, the litigations, you know, Cannon, you see him in the right-hand side of your screen right now, fans at the bottom. Cannon is going through some unbelievable negotiation sessions trying to get a match signed with Rivera and Bravo and with I.W.A.'s consent. But as you know, the Mongols want the majority of the purse, and as soon as we can get a match, fans, I know that you fans will like to see it in the arenas or maybe possibly here on International Wrestling. Eddie Dean, the youngster from Columbia, South Carolina, getting the worst end of it right now.
He certainly is. They're chopping this boy up pretty well. That's a shame. He's a nice boy. I talked with him in a dressing room, and he's been wrestling as an amateur. He's really trying to learn, and he's doing quite well. But to take a couple of big brutes like this and work him over is really a shame. If they would wrestle him, he would be competitive.
I'll tell you, Lou, young Eddie Dean is fast, he's agile, but I'm afraid right now, especially against these two guys, he lacks the size. And in order for him and for Doug Hawkins to be victorious in this match, especially with the Mongols in the state that they are in right now, because after losing their belts, they're just in a tirade.
Right, they're really angry. They're trying to punish this boy.
So in order for Hawkins and Dean to make a victory, they're going to have to give the full possible measure.
Well, the Mongols are so aggressive and they work as a team so well. I'm a little fearful for the chances of Hawkins.
Cannon, you know, I have a little thing going with Cannon myself, Lou. I'm not really crazy about George Cannon. He has made my life miserable, as well as 90% of the wrestlers in the I.W.A. that are working in tag team competition.
He spells trouble.
Bolo Mongol, the bigger of the two Mongols, 6'5", 275 pounds. Guido Mongol in the lower position, Bolo on top. Right now they're using Doug Hawkins, in essence, as a meat grinder.
They just want to knock the heart out of him.
Hawkins, a big body slam by Bolo Mongol on Doug Hawkins, and that's over 285 pounds. There he goes, Guido Mongol with coming off that top rope.
Terrible.
It would be nice. It would be nice to see a couple of guys like Rivera and Bravo finally hold on to those title belts.
I would love to see it.
Because they are a team that truly deserves it.
They work so hard. They train so hard. They're so diligent. You know, we must admit they do have teamwork.
Even though it's double teamwork.
It's double teamwork. They go in there to win.
I don't believe the Mongols would know how. Oh, that crushing. Right on top of his throat, and now he's working on it to make the injury even worse. Guido Mongol and Bolo Mongol really pounding away. But Doug Hawkins and Eddie Dean trying as he may to get back into the action.
He's really taking a lot of abuse, this fellow Hawkins. He can really take it. He's doing a great job. He hangs in there. Very good. Well, double teaming, of course.
Count goes in. 1, 2, 3. That's it. You know, the double teaming tactics of the Mongols have scored many a victory, and the team of Doug Hawkins and Eddie Dean are just another one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, wait a minute here. They're not, wait a minute, look at this. Dino Bravo, Victor Rivera coming after the world champion, the former world champion Mongols. Dino Bravo, Victor Rivera coming after the Mongols. George Cannon taking abuse outside. Look at him go, Bravo and Rivera. There you have it, the four men that have the chance for the I.W.A. World Tag Team Championship. And the Mongols have been cleared out of the ring. Unbelievable, sports fans. Victor Rivera, Dino Bravo having enough of the Mongols. They chase them clear out of the ring. Fans, here we go. Boy, we got action now. All four men outside, in fact, all 6 men outside. They're crashing into our I.W.A. microphone table here. Even George Cannon caught a shot. I'll tell you, Bravo coming after Cannon. The Mongols back and forth now. It's a wild 4, 6, 7-way melee. Fans, we'll be back. We're going to try to get it cleared up. We'll be back with more of International Championship Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, our next match will be one fall with a 20-minute time limit, hailing from Sicily, weighing in tonight at 241 pounds, Tony Romano. His opponent, wrestling fans, it's my pleasure to introduce from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in tonight at 235 pounds, 6-time world champion, THESZ. Well, wrestling fans, my partner, 6-time world champion THESZ, inside that ring against Tony Romano. And I got to tell you fans right now that Lou will have a tough time with this game competitor, and I'll tell you, he really is one. 6-time world champion THESZ in action. Tommy Young, the referee, against Tony Romano. Romano from Sicily, 5 feet, 9.5 inches tall, weighing in at 241 pounds tonight. THESZ, chicken wing, and was into a head scissors also, but now he's just back into that chicken wing, into a hammerlock, double wrist lock now. Romano trying to squirm out of it. You know, fans, a beautiful move there by Romano, a body slam. Lou just brought him right on over with that double wrist lock, though, back into the head scissors. You are looking, fans, at probably the greatest of all champions. 6 times he was the world champion, THESZ, and he is quite a man, and he's with the best right now. He's still with the best, the I.W.A. THESZ, 6-time world champion right now. Romano trying to bridge out of it, no go. THESZ keeps it on him. That head scissors, it's a very painful maneuver, especially when you got an old pro like Lou on it. Romano reversing his field. Back into a hammerlock. THESZ, world champion. I'll tell you, this guy can beat you thousands of ways. Not a few, thousands of ways. THESZ can beat you from everything from a double wrist lock, spinning toe hold, a figure 4 leg lock, a back suplex, a reverse suplex, anything. THESZ is the master of wrestling. And I'm so happy to be doing this show, International Wrestling, with Lou. Romano into a half Nelson. THESZ into a double wrist lock, and back into that double wrist lock. Leg scissor combination. He's back on top again, going for the press. Romano squirming out again. THESZ again, back into that double wrist lock. He's been using it to a great efficiency right now. What can you say about what we've seen today in international wrestling already, sports fans? We've seen men like the Mongols defeat the team of Dean and Hawkins, only to have Rivera and Bravo interfere. And I'll tell you, Victor and Dino, they have got their licks in on the Mongols so far, and they want that title match. They want that championship. The only 2 teams in the I.W.A. right now capable of winning the World Tag Team Championship, because it has been held up by the I.W.A. is Victor Rivera, Dino Bravo, and the Mongols. So when those 4 men meet inside the same ring, you fans can believe you'll be seeing plenty of action. A rolling headlock by Tony Romano on the 6-time world champion THESZ. Lou coming up with that side suplex now. Lou got him. A side suplex. 2, 3, that's it. Goodbye, Romano. THESZ winning the match with a side suplex and body press. Thank you, fans. We'll be back with the big main event here on International Championship Wrestling after this timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout will be one fall with a curfew time limit. Introducing team number 1, hailing from Mooresville, North Carolina, weighing in tonight at 228 pounds, Cowboy Nelson Royal. Tag team partner from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 245 pounds, Johnny Powers. And their opponents, Martinez, Denmark. 327 pounds, Eric the Red. Tag team partner from Wilmington, Delaware. Weighing in at 285 pounds, the North American champion, Dick the Bulldog Beower.
Great wrestling team, Powers and Royal. These two young men are fine wrestlers. Powers has an axe to grind with Beower. A lot of wrestlers have. In my opinion, Powers could possibly get the job done. Powers and Beower have been at loggerheads for some time, but I think Powers at this point is incensed enough that he can do a real good job. I'm looking forward to it.
You know how long THESZ, Johnny Powers, has been trying to get any kind of match? He first asked for a single, and the I.W.A. felt at that time that there was too much tension running between the two of them, and he was denied the single match. He asked for a tag team later on. They wouldn't give it to him either, but finally the I.W.A. has feel that the tempers have cooled enough, and Bulldog Beower wants no part of Johnny Powers, none.
Well, I think that would be good judgment on Beower's part. But at this point, Powers is really revved up about this thing, and he could very well do a good job on it. I would like to see the match.
Pardon me, Lou, but we have a meeting of minds right here. The tags are going Eric to Beower, Beower to Eric. Every time Powers steps into that ring, Beower leaves.
Well, that concession hold that Powers has is devastating enough that I imagine anyone would be reluctant to risk getting into it again. Nearly a pin.
Bulldog Beower and Eric the Red both working on Nelson Royal, and I'll tell you, everybody that's watching international wrestling right now want to see Beower and Powers get into it. Let's see how smart Bulldog really is.
That Red's got a heavy foot. I watched him pound Royal when he was down on the mat, and he really has a pair of number 14s there. Well, Beower's in there with Royal. Now they're tagging. Well, Beower's in there alone now with Royal. But he's been softened up by the redhead.
Bulldog Beower, and look at Powers. Look at Powers, boy. He's ready. He is ready. One tag, and Powers going to go right through it.
Had to get the last shot in. He couldn't leave in good grace.
Well, Lou, you know what they say about Bulldog Beower. Don't ever turn your back on the man.
That's true.
Royal coming back now. Johnny?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Lou.
No, I was talking about Beower. The class will tell, and we know what kind of class he has.
You know, Johnny Powers asked for this match. He said, put me in anything. He says, Battle Royal, 6-man tag, 4-man tag, handicap match, makes no difference. I want Beower.
I can believe that. Look at him. He is really ready for the man. You know, you finally get revved up over a person like this, and I can imagine that if Powers couldn't get his hands on him, he'd lose sleep over it. He gets to be an obsession.
Johnny Powers just standing over in the corner. He wants this man. He really does. He don't want anybody else either. He don't want Eric. But he'll take him, it looks like, Lou. Spearing him into a backdrop.
You bet he'll take him.
You know, you just get to the certain point in life, Lou, where you got to strike out at something. And Powers, I believe, is at that point.
He's arrived. He certainly has.
There's Eric, Lou. You see
that Eric the Red is trying to get him to tag off. He wanted Beower to tag in. Beower will not tag in to come in and help his partner. He is afraid of Powers. He will not tag off and come in. That's amazing. I thought he had more courage than that.
Powers going after Bulldog all throughout his wrestling career. And now Johnny Powers unleveling on Eric the Red. Nelson Royal Look at this, boy, right on the top of him. Eric is staggered. Here comes the Bulldog. Powers calling for Nelson. Look at this, man. Johnny Powers calling for Nelson Royal. He wants in there so bad he can taste it.
Powers tough.
Nelson trying for a front face lock on Bulldog, Lou. Not doing too well.
The Bulldog is really in there. Nelson hit him for a pretty good shot to the stomach, and he didn't hurt him at all. There you go. Beautiful takedown by Nelson. Here comes Johnny.
And there goes Bulldog Beower. There he went. Boy, I never seen that man move so fast.
That tells us something.
Here, Johnny Powers.
He's begging him.
Powers is mad. Beower wants no part of him.
He's begging him to come in. He won't do it. But Powers is really a competitor.
You hear that, Lou? Yelling at him, "You're a gutless coward, Beower. Get in the ring." Beower would not go.
Well, we can't argue with that opinion.
Receiving end right now. Eric the Red working on him. There goes Beower. We don't want no part of it.
While Eric the Red held him, he gave him a shot, but as soon as he got alone, he wouldn't. He ran away again. It's amazing.
John wants him, Lou. I've never seen two men.
He really has, and Beower's really spooked to this fellow.
I've never seen two men that have taken such a disliking to one another.
Oh.
Against Nelson Royal. I'll tell you, Nelly. I'll tell you what I told you before, Lou. Nelly Royal is a scrapper.
He certainly is.
He might be stopped for the time being, but Nelson will be back in this match, I guarantee it.
You know, we say they have intestinal fortitude, but he's got guts.
That's for sure. Bulldog Beower. Here comes Nelson. Here he comes back. He took the onslaught of Beower and Eric, and he's still coming back for more. Wait a minute. He's got that bone. He hit him right in the stomach with it. The referee calls for the bell. He says, "That's it." Here comes Johnny Powers. Johnny Powers is after Bulldog Beower. Beower, get out of there. What's the decision, ref? The referee rules. Uh-oh. That might cost Powers some money, but the referee rules, sports fans. That the team of Eric and Dick the Bulldog Beower were disqualified. The winners of the fall of the match, Nelson Royal and Johnny Powers.
That Powers is ready for him. He is ready for Beower.
He sure is. Fans, we'll be right back with more wrestling and a wrap-up after this timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, all the action today on I.W.A. International Championship Wrestling. THESZ, my congratulations on a great victory over Tony Romano. How does he rate up in your list of competitors, Lou?
Well, he's a competitive wrestler. He's probably not as well diversified as some. Of course, you take fellows like Rivera and your stars about here. Of course, they don't compare with them. But he's a competitive wrestler, and he's fine. As we travel around the world, we meet all kinds. I wrestle nearly every style in the world. And he's kind of a cross between South American and our normal freestyle wrestling.
You know that, I don't know if you, did you get a chance to see this or not, but the Mongols had a match against two young gentlemen, one by the name of Hawkins and one by the name of Dean. And they pretty much devastated the team of Hawkins and Dean, the Mongols did. But at the last moment, that other team, the team that everyone that's watching I.W.A. Wrestling knows about now, you could say the co-champions, the World Tag Team co-champions, because right now, only two teams have a chance at that World Tag Team title shot. And that, of course, is the Mongols and Rivera and Bravo, because those were the teams to wrestle when the title belts got held up.
I would like very much, it would be a lot of personal satisfaction to me, to see two young men that have trained very, very hard and have learned their craft well and are practicing it as it should be. They wrestle. They go in there and they wrestle. They call it wrestling. That's what they do. They're both so well diversified. I would like very much to see them win the championship. It would make me feel very good.
It would be fantastic. You know, also, fans, that we had a match on today's program between Johnny Powers and Nelson Royal against Dick the Bulldog Brower and Eric the Red. And I got to say that was a wild one, because Powers wanted Brower, but Brower was nowhere to be seen.
Brower doesn't want any part of Powers, apparently. Powers is on. Brower knows it. Brower is, I think, a little fearful of him. It's the first time I've seen him to be maybe a little bit frightened of his opponent. He didn't want in there at all with him, as you could see. Each time that Powers tagged off and came in, he just left. He took an exit. So that tells you something. I mean, if he had any courage, or the kind of courage he should have, he should have stayed in there and wrestled it out.
That's right. You know, I think it was a fantastic psych-out move of Johnny Powers ever from the beginning when he wore the jacket with North American champion on the back. He's been not only battling him physically, but battling Brower mentally, too.
Well, I think he has his number. You know, there's such a thing. Brower may run roughshod over everybody in the world, but one fellow will come down the pike and have his number, and that's the way it goes in all sports. That's really crazy. It's like a picture of the baseball game. Sometimes you'll find a guy that can strike out, nothing to do about it.
You know, a lot of the fans have written, called in. They wanted to know the condition of the world's strongest wrestler, the mighty Igor. A couple weeks ago in international wrestling, Larry Heineme, he said it was an accident, but we both know what happened.
He burned him. I was here. I saw it, yes. And Igor was putting him down, and he was feeling the heat from the flame, I'm sure. So he went ahead and he burned the man. Said it was an accident, which was ridiculous. We know it wasn't.
So I want to tell you, fans out there, that the mighty Igor will be returning in the very, very near future. His doctors say that he should be ready and at 100% peak capacity in about a week. And I'll tell you, when Igor gets back in action at 100%, I really hope that Heineme has his thing together.
I'll be there to see that.
I will too. For THESZ, this is Ron Martinez saying thank you for watching International Championship Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is a tag team match from Miami, Florida. Tony Morris, weighing 230 pounds. And his partner from America, Samoa, weighing 245 pounds, Atitego. Now entering the ring from Boston, Massachusetts, with a combined weight of 456 pounds, the Love Brothers, with their manager, Al Costello.
Well, their build has the world's most exciting tag team duo, Reginald and Hartford Love, the Love Brothers, along with manager Al Costello. And they're going to take on quite a combination. A couple of the new promising stars in the world of professional wrestling. It'll be Tommy Morris and Atitego.
Atitego from American Samoa.
Another one of the fine Samoan wrestlers. We had an opportunity of watching young Tommy Morris in action not too long ago, and very impressive young man.
He's a really good rookie. Al Costello is making sure his boys get their final instructions. Al Costello is a very famous wrestler, very good manager.
All right, your referee, Charlie Smith, is called for the bell, and this match, ladies and gentlemen, officially underway. It'll be Hartford Love going against Atitego in the start of this tag team affair.
You know, as much as I dislike to say it, Jack, whenever the Love Brothers are in a wrestling match, there's all kinds of action. And Al Costello seems to be the catalyst. He's taken the Love Brothers from Haight-Ashbury and has made them international stars.
Atitego being warned by referee Charlie Smith about something there. There's Hartford Love pounding away on Atitego. And Tego coming right back. Gotta fight fire with fire, Big Tex.
That's right. You know, I read a little story about the Love Brothers recently. That can't, you know, without Costello, I had a team, the Love Brothers, I'm trying to say is the Love Brothers have really got a great combination with Costello. They have become the top contenders.
Now look at that.
Costello.
Look at Costello grabbing the hair of Tego. Hartford holding Tego by the chin. Referee Charlie Smith catching the action. Warning, Reggie Love coming right back now.
Costello's very clever, you notice. He does his dirty work while the referee's looking in the other direction.
Headlock in there by Reggie Love. Tego stunned right now. Another headlock in there by Reggie. Referee Charlie Smith staying right on top of the action. Hair pull, headlock, tag. Here comes Hartford Love. But not before Reggie leaves with a parting shot.
That's it. That's the final.
Love brothers.
Yes, sir.
That's their style. That's the way they do their thing.
Costello had many years as one half of the famous Kangaroos. He and Roy Heffernan were famous all over the world. Sold out Madison Square Garden, Maple Leaf Garden, every place in the world. So the Love brothers have certainly got a good manager and coach, I'll tell you that.
One of the best. Beautiful knee lift in there by Tego. Here's a tag, and here's young Tommy Morris.
Let's see you go, Tommy.
Oh, they've got Tommy Morris.
That's where inexperience comes in. There, Costello's holding his hand. Look at that.
Our camera picking up all the action with Al Costello holding on to the boot.
Osborne
Of Morris. As the Love brothers continue, referee Charlie Smith counting now on the Love brothers.
Charlie Smith didn't see Costello do a thing there.
Good body slam in there by Hartford Love. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, the International Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Mil Mascaras. Hartford Love with a tag. Brother Reggie in there now. You know, we get a lot of cards and letters from our wrestling fans all over the country. And they want to know, are they really brothers? Yes, they are. Reginald and Hartford Love, the Love brothers. Double teaming their opponent. Referee Charlie Smith warning Costello to get back. In the meantime, look what's going on in that ring. They're really working over on Morris. There's Charlie Smith.
Get over there, Smith.
You see, Costello's got all the tactics.
He has. He knows every dirty trick in the book. He could write a book on it.
Look at him trying to cut off the oxygen. Tego with a hard smash. Reggie Love is down.
Charlie Smith doesn't see what Costello's doing. The boomerang on the throat. I'll tell you what, that
is holding Morris. You can see it in the right-hand corner of your picture right now. Costello interfering with this bout constantly.
Charlie Smith has got his hands full tonight.
Into the turnbuckle goes the head of Morris.
That Morris is a game young wrestler.
But he's taking his lumps right now.
You better believe it. Look at that. He's hurt. He's been hurt. He's been hurt all through this match. But he's not going to give up. He dropped the back of the neck. Is that Hartford? Hartford Love. They're calling. Hartford's calling for the referee. There's no referee to count the hold.
Costello. Look at Charlie Smith. Referee Smith warning Costello. Look what's going on in the ring right now. There's Al Costello. Attracting the attention of referee Charlie Smith as the Love brothers double team young Morris.
Charlie Smith has got his hands full tonight. Cunning and exciting, devious. Best describes the Love brothers.
Look at Costello. Look at him grabbing at the hair of Morris. Morris fighting back now. Trying to get to his partner for a tag.
He's going to make the tag.
But the referee won't see it. He won't see the tag. There's a tag. But Charlie Smith does not see the tag. See that?
Oh, the fans are going wild.
Now he's ordering Tego back out. Tego doesn't believe it. You're seeing it all, wrestling fans. Look at the expression on the face of young Morris.
Morris has had a beating tonight.
Pounding away, Hartford Love.
Costello's going wild on the ringside.
Look at Al Costello with the boomerang.
Brothers.
All right, let's pick up the action now. Double teaming going on with the Love Brothers.
Notice how Costello is purposely getting the referee's attention.
There's the hangman off the top strand of that ring rope. Now Reggie.
After all the dirty work is done, sure, then they'll let the referee get back. That's Costello and the Love Brothers for you.
International Championship Wrestling featuring the superstars of professional wrestling.